orchestra, you sort of celebrate diversity of sound. In the flute choir, it's more like a string quartet. They all have a related sound. And so you take in harmony, I think, and other timbre. You take it in a different way. And it sort of envelops you in a slightly different way.
The flute is such a popular instrument. If you look in the middle school and high school bands, if you look at the number of flute players who apply to go to college every year, it attests to the popularity of our instrument. So a flute choir exists to let all these flute players play together and play high-quality music that they might not otherwise get to encounter, especially as adults.
We are an all-adult group, and we're semi-professional and professional players. So I think that's what makes our group unique, and also we have probably more instruments than any of them in New England. Nobody has a contrabass flute like we do.
This is somewhat unique for flute. Flutes are usually played crossways, but if you can imagine what you'd have to do to play contrabass this way, it would be pretty tough. So this triangular arrangement changes the direction of the flute so that you can put the flute up to your mouth and play it crossways like this. The purpose of the contra is to provide the low notes, the depth notes. This sounds 2 full octaves below the regular C flute. In many instances is meant to be felt as much as heard.
A flute choir is like an orchestra, and sometimes they call it a flute orchestra. And that is because we have the full range. The contrabass flute, for example, would be the string bass of the orchestra. The bass flute is like the cello. The alto flute is like a viola. And the C flute and the piccolo are like the flute and piccolo in the orchestra. So we have a whole orchestral range, but it's all flutes. Eileen Yarrison is our conductor, and she's been our conductor for the last 10 years. She's lots of fun, but as a musician, she's just absolutely tops. She can conduct 20 people playing 20 different parts all at the same time, and we all come out at the same time at the end.
These players are very committed to this group. They travel from quite a distance, sometimes on a Sunday night, to be with us. So there's a strong level of commitment to playing and to being together.
There's something very passionate, very kind of a lot of spirit in music, and so I hope that comes through.
Where we go, we are seen as one of the better flute choirs in the country. We perform all sorts of music in all sorts of venues, weddings and church services and concerts for the general public. We've called ourselves Nashua's best kept secret for a long time, and in the last few years have decided that we need to not be the best kept secret anymore.